A very good morning. You're watching the Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha television. It is Monday morning and this is your one-stop morning show for the very latest news from India and across the world, and also tells you what all to expect in the day ahead. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor and here are the headlines. Prime Minister launches intensified mission Indradhanush from Vadnagar in Gujarat. Program aims for 90% coverage for full immunization by the end of 2018. Home Minister says Pakistan's plans to weaken India by exporting terror defeated. Intensified anti-terror ops have neutralized infiltrators on a daily basis. Anti-independence voices take to streets in Catalonia. Largest unity rally held on Sunday. Prime Minister warns anything within law to halt Catalan secession. US and Turkey halt all non-immigrant visa services. Move after US consulate employee arrested for links to Fethullah Gulen, who is blamed for last year's failed coup. And India to face Colombia in the ongoing FIFA Under-17 World Cup in Delhi. India has the second match in the series after defeat to the USA. Our top stories from Gujarat, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched an intensive immunization drive from his hometown Vadnagar on Sunday. Now, the program aims to achieve a full immunization by December 2018. Prime Minister Modi also laid the foundation stone for a barrage project on the Narmada in Bharuch district. Here is a report.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's first visit to his hometown Vadnagar in Mehsana district since 2014. The Prime Minister held a roadshow in Vadnagar before inaugurating a newly built medical college in the town. He used the opportunity to take a dig at the health policy of the previous Congress-led UPA government, alleging that it had failed to bring a health policy during its 10-year rule.
उसके बाद 10 साल में ऐसी सरकार आई जिसको विकास के प्रति नफरत थी, और उसी का परिणाम हुआ कि हेल्थ पॉलिसी 15 साल के बाद हमारी सरकार आने के बाद अब हेल्थ पॉलिसी नई लाई गई है, ताकि नए सिरे से हम इस बात को कैसे स्वास्थ्य की गारंटी सफाई पर आधारित होती है। अगर स्वच्छता है, गंदगी नहीं है, तो बीमारी आने की हिम्मत नहीं है।
The Prime Minister launched an intensive immunization drive, the Intensified Mission Indradhanush or IMI from Vadnagar. The program will focus on improving immunization coverage in the districts and cities to ensure 90% coverage of full immunization by December 2018 instead of 2020. The Prime Minister later also visited Bharuch, where he laid the foundation stone for a 4,337 crore rupees Bharbut Barrage project. The project aims to stop the ingress of salinity along the Narmada River. Addressing a public meeting, the Prime Minister said the barrage project will solve the issue of drinking water to Bharuch and also open up new channels for fisheries.
नदी और समंदर का मिलन मछली पालन के लिए महत्वपूर्ण होता है। वो एक वैज्ञानिक रास्ता होता है। मुझे खुशी है कि गुजरात सरकार में इस बैराज को बनाने की जिन्होंने योजना बनाई है, उन्होंने जो वैज्ञानिक तरीके से बनाई है, ये हिंदुस्तान में इकलौता ऐसा प्रोजेक्ट है जिसमें एक तरफ समुद्र के खारे पानी को रोकना, मीठा पानी बढ़ाते जाना, जमीन का सुधार करना, पीने के पानी में सुधार करना, समुद्र को बाहर रखना, और दूसरी तरफ 2 अलग चैनल बनाना, जिससे नदी और समुद्र के पानी के मिलन से जहां मछली पैदा होती है, उसको वैज्ञानिक तरीके से जारी रखना, एक अद्भुत वैज्ञानिक प्रयोग के रूप में आज भरूच जिले को इस बात का गर्व होगा।
The Prime Minister also flagged off a new train between Udna in Surat and Jayanagar in Bihar.
रेल विभाग ने एक अंत्योदय एक्सप्रेस की परिकल्पना की। पश्चिम रेलवे में अब तक ये दूसरी अंत्योदय एक्सप्रेस का आज हमने विधिवत प्रारंभ किया। ये अंत्योदय एक्सप्रेस पूरी ट्रेन अनरिजर्व होगी, उसमें कोई आरक्षण नहीं होगा। कोई भी व्यक्ति आखिरी मोमेंट के बाद आकर के वतन की यात्रा के लिए चल पड़ सकता है।
The Prime Minister later returned to New Delhi from Vadodara. This is his third visit in less than a month to the pole-bound state. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And in more news from Gujarat, a team headed by Chief Election Commissioner A.K. Jyoti will be in Gujarat for a 2-day visit starting today to take stock of the preparedness for the upcoming state assembly elections. The delegation comprises Election Commissioners O.P. Rawat and Sunil Arora, along with the 12 other senior officials. On the first day, the team is expected to meet leaders and representatives of political parties in Ahmedabad to hear their concerns and suggestions. The panel will also conduct a meeting with all the district election officers and senior police officials in Gandhinagar to review different aspects of the election management, such as electoral rolls, election management place, as well as polling stations, voter education and the use of social media. Before the review meeting, the Commission will flag off a mobile EVM VVPAT demonstration centre which will move around Gandhinagar to create awareness about the use of VVPAT machines. Over 76,232 VVPAT machines, which generate a paper trail of the voters cast, have been allocated to be used for the first time to conduct elections in over 50,000 polling booths across all constituencies in the state of Gujarat. On to the other top story. Home Minister Rajnath Singh has said that Pakistan's nefarious designs to weaken India by exporting terror has been defeated by intensified anti-terror operations that are neutralizing infiltrators on almost daily basis. Rajnath Singh said that Indian soldiers along the Indo-Pakistan border have been gunning down at least 5 to 6 terrorists every day. Now, speaking at the inauguration of the 9th convention of Vishwakarma community in Bengaluru on Sunday, he pointed out that the Indian Army is retaliating strongly for every bullet fired by Pakistan across the border. Singh said that he has ordered that the soldiers not to fire at the Pakistani counterparts first, but give a befitting reply by firing countless bullets if Pakistan opened fire. He noted that the world sees India as a strong country today, and Doklam standoff was resolved due to this very image.
बराबर सीज फायर का वायलेशन करता रहता है। पाकिस्तान की तरफ से भारत और पाकिस्तान की सीमा पर गोलियां चलाई जाती हैं। लेकिन बहनों भाइयों, मैंने भी अपने बॉर्डर सिक्योरिटी फोर्स के अधिकारियों को कह दिया है, दो टूक शब्दों में कह दिया है, पहली गोली तो भारत की तरफ से नहीं चलनी चाहिए, लेकिन एक भी गोली यदि पाकिस्तान की तरफ से चल जाती है तो फिर भारत की गोलियों को गिना नहीं जाना चाहिए। बहनों भाइयों, हमारा भारत अब यह दुनिया का ताकतवर देश बन गया है। आपने देखा अभी चीन के साथ डोकलाम के मुद्दे पर लेकर जो कुछ विवाद था, लोग सारी दुनिया के लोग यह समझते थे कि चीन और भारत के बीच संघर्ष होगा, लेकिन दोनों देशों ने सूझबूझ के साथ काम लिया और डोकलाम के विवाद को सुलझाने में हमने पूरी तरह से कामयाबी हासिल कर ली। यदि भारत कमजोर भारत रहता तो मैं समझता हूं डोकलाम का यह विवाद, डोकलाम का डेडलॉक, यह कभी भी न सुलझ पाता।
Meanwhile, Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman on Sunday reviewed the operational readiness of the strategically important Eastern Air Base of Tezpur in Assam. The visit has been a part of Sitharaman's familiarization with all the formations of the Indian Army and the Indian Air Force. The Defence Minister reiterated the government's resolve to give further impetus to development in the border areas. Now, lauding the security forces for their steadfast commitment and high morale in facing the diverse challenges thrown up by the dynamic security environment, The Defence Minister exhorted the troops to continue with the same zeal and a sense of pride and honour showing due to respect to human rights. And Air Chief Marshal B.S. Dhanoa has said that the Indian Air Force is prepared to fight a war at a short notice. Now, addressing an event at the Hindon Air Base, the chief said that the force is fully geared up to respond to any security challenge to the country in the most befitting manner. Now, speaking on the occasion of the 85th anniversary of the Indian Air Force, he said that the uncertainties in the present geopolitical environment in the region may require the Indian Air Force to fight a short and swift war. The comments came amid China's muscle flexing in the Doklam Plateau and continued cross-border terror activities by Pakistan in Jammu and Kashmir. The comments were made in the presence of Army Chief General Bipin Rawat and other top officers of the Indian Air Force.
On behalf of all the air warriors, I once again take this opportunity to assure the nation of our sacred resolve in defending the sovereignty of our skies and safeguarding our national interests.
And in Breakfast News, time for a very short break. We'll be back with more news. Stay tuned.
The sacred relics of Buddha were unearthed in Piprava in Uttar Pradesh. Buddhist monks from all over the world visit the National Museum to pay their respects. These charred bone fragments of Buddha are housed in the gold canopy gifted by the royal family of Thailand.
Art arisen from a multi-hued cultural canvas. Tradition and cultural fervour dating back centuries. And encircling them all, there's a magic that awes. Embrace your nation's brilliant human warmth. Watch Colours of India, Sundays at 9:30 p.m. on Rajya Sabha television.
Unakoti, the famous Shaiva pilgrimage spot in Tripura, dates back to the 8th and 9th century. The name means one less than a crore. It owes its origin to an interesting legend that says Lord Shiva, who was on his way to Kashi, stopped here for a night halt along with gods and goddesses. Together their number totaled 1 crore. At sunrise the next day, Lord Shiva was incensed to find all the gods and goddesses still asleep. Cursing them to become stone images, he left alone for Kashi. Unakoti, apart from its rock-cut carvings, has an imposing Shiva head called the Unakotishwara Kal Bhairav. Other eye-catching works include 3 enormous images of Nandi bull that are half buried in the ground and a gigantic Ganesh. To this day, the logistics of these huge carvings remain a mystery.
The story we thought we knew. The story of magnificence. The story of bloody battles. Of those who ruled and those who left their footprints. The story charting the course of our past. Talking history on Rajya Sabha TV.
Welcome back after the break. Now, Union Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas, Dharmendra Pradhan, on Sunday told the Secretary General of OPEC, Sanusi Mohammed Barkindo, that India expects a reasonable crude oil price from OPEC member nations. Now, Barkindo is in India to attend the first Serra Week India Energy Forum. The two dignitaries discussed the current scenario of oil and gas industry of the world and exchanged notes on the recent developments. During the meeting, Pradhan reiterated that OPEC should work towards a reasonable pricing, which is important for India for socio-economic and developmental reasons. Pradhan highlighted that in today's oversupplied market, it was important for producers to understand the perspective of consuming countries and the changes that have taken place in these demand centers. India's engagement with OPEC is important as India sources about 86% of its crude oil, 75% of its natural gas, and 95% of LPG from OPEC member countries. Pradhan and Barkindo had last met in Vienna in May 2017 for the second India-OPEC institutional dialogue.
We expect a reasonable price. We know for the continuous production, there must be price stability. Price stability must be also in interest of consumer. That's the consistent stand India is taking.
In the interest of not only producers but consumers of energy like India, we look forward to another historic moment when we meet on November the 30th in Vienna.
And after flagging off the Jan Raksha Yatra in Kerala's Kannur district earlier this week, BJP President Amit Shah on Sunday led a march in New Delhi. Rallies against the killing of RSS workers in Kerala. Delhi BJP Chief Manoj Tiwari, Union Minister Alphonse Kannanthanam and the party's Lok Sabha MPs from the national capital were also in attendance. BJP President Amit Shah alleged that the politics of violence is in the nature of communists. He also added that the left workers were killing and terrorizing BJP and RSS workers in Kerala, which is ruled by the CPIM-led government. He also said that the Communist Party should be ashamed of the killings. He asserted that no amount of intimidation can stop the lotus from blooming in the left-ruled state.
केरल में जब से कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी की सरकार आई है, संघ और भारतीय जनता पार्टी के 12 से ज्यादा कार्यकर्ताओं की निर्मम हत्या कर। मैं आज पार्टी के अध्यक्ष के नाते ये सारे लाल भाई जो फैले हुए हैं, उनको कहना चाहता हूं कि हत्या का कीचड़ जितना आप बढ़ाओगे, कमल उतना ही अच्छे से खिलकर बाहर आएगा।
And as poll-bound Gujarat inches closer to election days, Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi is set to embark on another tour of the state from today as part of its political campaign that began over a month ago. Rahul Gandhi will take part in the Yuva Rozgar Adhikar Navsarjan Yatra. The Congress leader will cover several districts in the central region, including Ahmedabad, Kheda, Anand, Vadodara, Chota Udaipur, Dahod and Panchmahal. In Vadodara, the Congress Vice President will hold a three-corner meeting apart from interacting with the local leaders, traders, entrepreneurs and professionals there. And Finance Minister Arun Jaitley will be on a week-long official visit to the United States from today. During the visit, Jaitley is expected to participate in several meetings, including the annual meetings of the World Bank and International Monetary Fund. The Finance Minister will also attend the G20 Finance Ministers and a Central Bank Governors working dinner. On Saturday, addressing the Berkeley India Conference, the Finance Minister reiterated the government's initiatives like the Swachh Bharat, GST and demonetization and said that it will have a desired impact on the economy. He added that GST and demonetization resulted in increasing tax compliance and squeezing quantum of cash in the economy. Jaitley further added that due to the demonetization drive, there has been a sharp reduction in insurgent and terror activities in states like Jammu and Kashmir and Chhattisgarh. Time for another short break. Up next, we have all the international and sports news. Stay with us.
Taking its name from the abundance of simul or red silk cotton trees that bloom vividly here, the Simlipal National Park is home to 3 of India's biggest animal species: tiger, Asiatic elephant, and gaur. Spread over a sprawling area of 2,750 square kilometers, set on a wide expanse of sal forest, this park is nestled in the very center of Mayurbhanj in Odisha. It is one of the most breathtaking nature reserves in India, with forests, grassy meadows, and some beautiful waterfalls like Joranda and Badehipani. It is also home to an astounding 1,078 species of plants, including 94 species of orchids.
Thanks for staying with us. The news from Europe, where Sunday was the day silent Catalonia found its voice. After separatist forces dominating public debate, the Catalans who oppose independence from Spain took to the streets of Barcelona. It was the largest such unity rally in Catalonia after the furor over last week's independence referendum. Now, Spanish Prime Minister Mariano Rajoy has warned that he would not rule out anything within the law to halt Catalan secession.
Barcelona hit by protests, calling for Catalonia's independence ever since the referendum earlier this month that has provoked Spain's biggest political crisis in 40 years. But so far, one group that was conspicuous by its absence in the protests was the Catalans who want to remain part of Spain. And they came out on Sunday protesting, demanding that their regional Catalan leaders hold fire on declaring independence from Spain. The protesters waved Spanish and Catalan flags and carried banners saying, "Together we are stronger and Catalonia is Spain." The demonstration was addressed by the Nobel Prize-winning novelist Mario Vargas Llosa, and the turnout was more than 350,000.
Además de recuerdos de un pasado a veces glorioso y a veces trágico, España es también una tierra de libertad, una tierra de legalidad. Eso el independentismo no lo va a destruir.
The demonstration comes even as Catalan President Carles Puigdemont has said that he will declare independence in a matter of days. The political uncertainty has already led some businesses, including Spain's third largest bank, to move their bases from Catalonia.
Este no es un enfrentamiento entre España, entre Cataluña y el resto de los españoles. Fundamentalmente es un problema de catalanes y que tenemos que solucionar aquí.
On Tuesday, Catalan leader Carles Puigdemont will address the regional parliament, and it is expected that he might unilaterally declare independence. However, such an action is likely to close the door on negotiations. It will also allow the Spanish president to apply Article 155 of the Constitution, under which Madrid assumes control of the regional government and puts its leaders outside the law.
Vivido algo muy complicado, la prequiebra de España, las amenazas de rescate, una crisis económica brutal y al final el esfuerzo de los españoles, su talento y su sentido pues sirvió para que superásemos esta situación.
Spain's Constitutional Court had also suspended Monday's session of regional Catalan Parliament, where the declaration for unilateral independence from Spain was billed to take place. According to Catalan government, 90% of participants voted for independence in the referendum. However, the turnout was only 42%. Nearly 900 people were injured as the police, trying to enforce a Spanish court ban on the vote, attempted to disperse the voters. 33 police officers were also hurt. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
On to the other top international story. The United States and Turkey have halted all non-immigrant visa services, escalating diplomatic tensions between the two NATO allies. The latest move comes after one of the US consulate employee in Istanbul was arrested on charges of links to a cleric, Fethullah Gulen, who is blamed for last year's failed coup. The US has termed the allegations as baseless. In a statement, the American embassy in Ankara said that the recent events forced the US government to reassess Turkey's commitment to the security of US mission services and personnel in the country. While responding to Washington's move, Turkey also suspended all visa services for Americans in the US, saying that the measures also apply to visas issued online and at the border. US-Turkish tensions have risen over US's military support for Kurdish YPG fighters in Syria, considered by Ankara to be an extension of the banned PKK, which has waged an insurgency for 3 decades in Turkey. And on to sports now. India will face Colombia in the ongoing FIFA Under-17 World Cup at Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium in New Delhi today. This is going to be India's second match in the series. In the first match played against the United States, the hosts lost by 3-0. Colombia also went down against Ghana by a solitary goal in the Group A opener of the tournament. Now, today's India-Colombia match will start at 8 p.m. In the other matches of the tournament, Ghana will play against the US today. The match will take place in New Delhi, while the other matches, Turkey versus Mali and Paraguay versus New Zealand, will be held in Mumbai. And that's it from me and my team in this edition of News. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day ahead.